Hey guys, it's RodimusPrimal. I am back with another video, and today I'm going to give you guys my review for the Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy's Kingdom Golden Disc Collection Terrorsaur. Yeah, that is a mouthful. All of the figures of the Golden Disc Collection are Amazon exclusives, and I wanted to make sure that I got Terrorsaur because I wanted a complete collection of Season 1 Maximals and Predacons, so it was like definitely a must for me to get this particular figure. And of course we can see the art there on the back of what the figure looks like, but we are going to break it down and open him up and give him a quick rundown. So without further ado, let's sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's transform and roll out. Consider supporting the channel on Patreon, becoming a channel member, or purchase some merch in my spring store today. I'm sure a lot of folks are aware of this, but this piece of cardboard right here, do not throw it out until you remove this little baggie right here for this figure, because this baggie in particular actually has some of the wingtips for him. So if you're not already aware, this is just a heads up for those of you who have not gotten the figure before. All right, so out of the package, here is Terrorsaur in his Pterodactyl Pteranodon mode. I could be wrong. I believe that a pterodactyl, and I'm sure that a lot of dinosaur nuts are going to correct me on this, but a pterodactyl is the one that has teeth while a pteranodon does not. So I believe that he is a pterodactyl. But he is a heavy retool of Kingdom Air-Razor. And how they've actually done this is done pretty well. The wings themselves are on a couple of different hinges, which allow you to pose him in a lot of cool pterodactyl poses as he's, can flap his wings. The one thing I will take note of with the wings themselves is like how, if you take a look here, the one connector piece like so, you kind of keep that in because the wing has a hinge over here and then has another hinge on this side, so you would keep it connected, and that would give you a more full pterodactyl style flap that you probably are looking for if you want like a more the right silhouette for a pterodactyl. And of course his mouth can open and close as you need to, which is really, really cool. With the head has posability, can turn left and right, and I honestly am really pleased with what they did with the figure. The only complaints that I can probably say, with it being silver in a lot of places, you'll see when I get into robot mode that I wish that it was a little bit more, animation accurate. I also don't like the waffling there on the neck because it's rather visible. I wish there was something that could fill that, and I haven't yet seen a filler kit for that. But also, the one thing a lot of folks have been complaining about is the wings are very, very loose. And I do have a fix that I'm going to show you guys later on in the video. But overall, I think he looks fantastic. And when you can also, he also comes packaged with his gun and a golden disc. Now, the golden disc is interesting because if you take a look at it here, I'm going to bring it up close. It actually says the sounds of Earth on this side, but on the flip side, it is the alien disc. And if you're familiar with Beast Wars, you would know that Beast Wars had 2 golden discs, and this is the first golden disc, and this is the second one. So basically, they just merged it into one. So it's nice to have, but I do kind of wish that that they had separated them. And I'm really curious if I don't have the arc, so I don't know if it comes with both golden discs, if it's kind of like one version is, it does have the sounds of Earth as one, and then the alien disc as the other. But other than that, it's a really cool accessory to actually have for Beast Wars, because this is the whole reason why Beast Wars even happened in the first place, how they were able to merge everything with the storylines. He also comes with his gun, clearly molded in red and then painted over. So storage for it, you could probably put it in Pteranodon mode or Pterodactyl mode here on the arm. And it kind of looks silly, for him to be able to blast at Maximals, but that's not something that he would have done in the show, but at least does give you a place to store it. But I'm just going to move it over to the side. Now, comparing and contrasting him, this is where you're going to see the heavy retoolness of the figures, is that here is Airazor, and you can see how much retooling they did for her in order to turn her into Terrorsaur. And the same thing, of course, with the direct repaint with a different head for Maximal Skywarp. And if you're familiar with the Beast Wars episode, the Power Surge, you know, of course, that an eagle was flying and down came Terrorsaur. So you could always reenact that. But then, of course, these two had an epic battle when Airazor was first introduced in Beast Wars. So that was always a cool thing. So here is Terrorsaur standing along with his Beast Wars Season 1 cast. Of course, they have not released a Kingdom Tarantulas, so I got a, this is my 10th anniversary Tarantulas to go along with the rest of Season 1, and I have somewhere buried my my Beast Wars Inferno figure. So those are two figures that would complete Season 1 for Beast Wars, but at least now, you know, having Terrorsaur with his buddy Waspinator as the two of them fought against Maximals all the time. And then, of course, the figure I can't stand the most is Kingdom Scorponok, which I'm not really a big fan of. But let's move on to transformation. So with transforming the figure, it actually is really quite simple. What we're going to do is open this up like so. And we're going to pull the legs out. This, by getting the legs out of the way, it becomes the easiest thing to do. And then we're going to turn the feet around because the dinosaur claws are going to face the opposite direction. Actually, no. They do face this way. And because the tail opens up, the waist turns all the way around, then it closes back over this way, and then you'll have forming feet and legs. And we're going to open up the arms. They unfold completely. It's a very easy and simple transformation. I've seen some folks not transform it right by not bringing this all the way down. But what we're going to do next is we're going to open them up to get the head out. Before we can do that, this whole assembly comes down, and that actually makes it easier to get the head out a little bit, because as you're moving the chest down, the head comes out a lot easier, especially because this piece right here is not present. The way that it transforms is different from the birds. So it's obviously this is where the most retooling was done. And then of course this is going to fold down all the way. And these are the pieces right here on the arms that came in that little baggie that are supposed to go here in order to match that animation model. And from here, we're going to turn the head around. And then we're going to close up the wings. And by doing this, first and foremost, I'm going to try and see if I can get the head back for a little more. There we go. By doing this, it, gives him like more of like a seeker jet kind of look to him. Because if you're familiar with Terrorsaur in the cartoon, he's kind of the Starscream of Season 1 in Beast Wars. So whereas Starscream did make an appearance in Beast Wars, this obviously is a different character, but Terrorsaur very much acted like a Starscream, and which is something that I've done some research on him because I kind of do want to do a retrospective of his character in the future. So it is something to take note of. But overall, he looks awesome once the wings are all completely folded up like so, and it's a very simple transformation. Of course, he can hold his gun there like so. And again, he just looks great. Awesome looking figure. Very posable. What you'd expect out of a Kingdom figure. That's the thing. You kind of expect this out of a deluxe scale figure out of Kingdom nowadays. You don't expect it to not have a lot of posability. Even has, waist articulation. If you move the tail out of the way, he can turn his waist around. which is great. Because of the transformation, he kind of has a little bit of an ab crunch, which is not something that a lot of Transformers do have, but it's part of his transformation, so it's something extra that he did not have before. And, having it with this figure is great. Now, I do want to show this little kit here that Larkin's Lair had sent me. He is a friend of the channel and gives extra stuff that was in the Beast Wars cartoon. So we're going to take it out of the packaging here. And so what these two little pieces are right here are to go into the wings and fill them in so I don't have to worry about them coming out. It's kind of noticeable because they're made out of gray plastic, but that's okay. But once they go in, now I don't got to worry about the wings popping out so much. And these are the kind of accessories that you kind of want with a lot of these new figures. I'd love to see something with the Seeker jets done so that I don't have to worry about the wings popping out at all. And that is a great upgrade right here, is having this. Once this goes into the mushroom peg, as long as it's printed right. Yep, there we go. And now they'll stay in his wings, and it becomes more difficult to, for the wings to fall off. So if you're having any issues with the wings, that is a great little addition. And he also comes with this gun right here, which this gun right here was, so this blaster was used also in Power Surge when Terrorsaur got all that power and he fired on Beast Wars Megatron and knocked him off a cliff and took over command of the Maximal, or the Predacons, for that episode until they rebuilt Megatron. So he can carry around these two different guns, which is awesome. The kit also comes with these two blasters that he used quite frequently in the cartoon. They fit into the grooves right there on the shoulders, so you kind of have to press them in a bit, but they do fit in, and once they go in, it actually is quite nice, because then you can have Terrorsaur doing very much what he did in the animated series, which was fire from his shoulders. And unfortunately, you kind of have to go in just right, and then you gotta hold the head steady because it's just fitting into the groove. And once they're in, get that in like so. Boom. Now he can be flying and shooting at Maximals with ease, which actually does kind of look pretty neat for firing purposes. They are blast effect compatible, so is the cannon. But I'm not going to display him with the shoulder cannons. I'm probably just going to store them, but this gun just looks awesome. Just for some comparisons, here is Skywarp and Airazor, since those are his mold mates. You can see how much difference they did for both of them. I love all three figures. I think that Skywarp was done really well as a repaint. And of course he has the 3D printed swords, and Airazor just looks awesome. The two of them, of course, if you're familiar, in the episode The Spark, the two of them had a head-to-head battle. And Terrorsaur did not fare so well against Airazor. And for final comparisons, here is most of the rest of his Beast Wars Season 1 cast. Of course, that is the Fox Kids Tarantulas, Kingdom Scorponok, Leader Class Megatron, Black Arachnia, and Waspinator. So you can see that he is a taller figure than some of the other deluxes, which is perfectly fine. Again, I'm not a big fan of that Scorponok figure, but overall, I think this figure is great. So let's wrap this up. So overall, I really, really liked this figure. I was happy that it came out. I was disappointed that it was an Amazon exclusive, because I know some people are probably, kicking themselves if they're big Beast Wars fans and they weren't able to get this figure. But at the same time, there is news. I mean, there is talk about that they are going to do a toy accurate version that is in slightly different colors than this for Terrorsaur. But I still think it's a worthwhile figure to get if you can get your hands on it still. But I want to know what you guys think. Of course, leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Be sure to thumbs up this video and subscribe. Check out my other videos as well. I have many more Transformers videos like this coming soon, so stay tuned for that. And as always, guys, until next time, till all are one.